And you're listening to the news on WBAI New York. I'm Paul DiRienzo. A petition signed by 400 academics and educators from across the country is calling for the San Francisco Board of Education to step back from its unanimous vote to whitewash a mural in a city high school. Painted in the 1930s by Russian émigré and communist muralist Viktor Arnatov of the Works Progress Administration, the mural depicts George Washington standing over the image of slaves and a dead Native American. The decision to obliterate the murals came after some students said they found the murals disturbing. It was the second time students wanted to remove the images. The first time was 50 years ago when the Black Panther Party took issue. Artist Dewey Crumpler painted murals to answer the Arnatov murals in a deal that staved off their destruction half a century ago. Crumpler, who opposes the Board of Education plan, spoke with WBAI earlier today.
The mural was painted by Viktor Arnatov, Russian immigrant to America, and in the 30s, and he worked for the WPA, and he made a series of murals around San Francisco. He studied mural painting in Mexico, worked with Diego Rivera. He was a communist, and he was interested in the Cultural Workers' Party and various things that had to do with sort of left-wing politics in the early part of the 20th century. And he painted the murals at George Washington High School, which served to be both a veneration of George Washington and also a very real critique of the founding father of America.
There's actually depictions of slaves and in one case a dead Native American person.
He painted a dead Native American stretched out under the pointing arms of the manifest destiny as articulated by the image of George Washington, and sprawled out on the ground was the sacred image of a Native American who represented the genocide of Native Americans in America, and the manifest destiny, which is articulated both by George Washington's outstretched arm pointing west, and his body articulated over this Native American with several settlers walking, painted gray by Arnatov as an image of the fallacy of manifest destiny, articulated through the ghostly image of those buccaneers. And that image really critiqued the idea of manifest destiny.
Why was it such a controversy? You would think this is a progressive...
It was a controversy because the students of today are not taught history, nor are they taught how to read art as a symbolic imagery. Many students, and I teach many of the students who graduate and come to universities and colleges, and they have not taken art. They have not been taught how to understand artists' use of metaphor and symbolic imagery, and so they saw the image as a literal depiction of a Native American dead.
The School Board of Education in San Francisco now, because of this, wants to whitewash this mural?
That's correct.
And you don't think that's a good idea? Obviously, you don't seem to think that's a good idea.
I do not.
And what do you think is going to happen next? Are they going to actually whitewash it?
Not if enough people can come together to stop this situation. I don't believe in destroying art to make art, because art makes you feel uncomfortable. That's art's job, is to make you feel uncomfortable. And therefore, I'm absolutely opposed to artwork being destroyed.
And you painted another mural. You actually went to this high school and painted a counter mural?
I did not go to that high school, but I was commissioned to paint a response mural that was initiated by the students of that school. The Black Panther Party's student wing they felt just as angry about those murals in the 60s as those students did. And they came to me as a young person myself and wanted me to paint new murals, and they wanted those murals destroyed. And I said 50 years ago that I would certainly do it, but I would not do it if they wanted to destroy the murals. So they agreed not to destroy the murals, and I went to Mexico to study mural painting myself so that I could come back and paint a mural equally as powerful as the one they were concerned with.
Have you been reaching out to the current students about how your murals would lose their meaning if this other mural was destroyed?
Yes, but that really didn't make any difference because they don't see the relationship between those murals which were painted to counter those murals. They see the other murals as more important than the murals I painted because, after all, I'm a person of color who painted these murals, and a more significant white person painted those murals, and they have more weight as a result than the murals painted by a person of color.
So by opposing it, what you seem to be saying is by opposing these earlier murals from the WPA, which show dead Indians and things like that, they're actually honoring this white guy over a person of color artist.
I'm not saying they're honoring him. I'm saying they, like everyone, they take white history more important than they take the history of people of color who counter that history. You know, we are in the process right now of rethinking history, and it's people of color who are leading that charge. But the people of power are fighting against those new ways or different ways of telling the truth about history from the point of view of people who are going to have to live in the 21st century. I just hope that people understand that I'm in no way against those students. I support those students' activism. I just think that what they are interested in doing, covering up and destroying art, is not the way to go.
Artist Dewey Crumpler, who opposed whitewashing the murals depicting slaves and a dead Native American at George Washington High School in San